Hello everybody, this is Loki and welcome back to phoneix, right? So we're gonna go ahead and start on the trial. Good morning, Max. Oh yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Here you know. How fabulous. You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that? So what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. See you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning, Leah. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo? Top of the morning to your number. Top of the morning? That to take it. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, then again worms lack higher brain function. Here. I brought you a present. Have some milk. My, thanks. Now, how are you today, Mr. Wright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm gonna face off against the real culprit. I mean, acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got the gut to spare. If all I got to worry about is how thin the typewriter is, I'm used to it already. It just means I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are we gonna do then, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. That's the only way we'll get past acro and to the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes. That's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe people becoming stars. Alright, let's get going with this, shall we? Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new, or shall I say a new eyewitness. The one that saw Maximilian Galactica file from the scene of the crime. Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. explanation the prosecution will present if the need to do so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up with the scene of my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Yeah, poor Gumshoe, that poor man. Someone give him a raise, please. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Try to say time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation? Ken, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as the acrobat at the Bidberry Circus. Where were you in the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Will you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Master Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of Clown. If that's the case, there was very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is explain how the defendant disappeared in the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. That's a lot of fools. A man must know proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix, right? Just like your old friend, Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Okay. The fourth statement. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window? Excuse me. Safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white rosa on front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapper down on his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Master Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there's something fishy with his latest bit of testimony? There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's contradiction, then prove it with the evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Let's see. Silk hat. You claimed to seen the exact same thing most saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it in Master's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was tough enough for a challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? No, I'm afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Master's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Master has 2 silk hats? No, he only has 1. There's a handmade, one-of-a-kind model only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, acro, that you have been fibbing on the sands. Order! Order! As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and I have to back it up. Good going, Phoenix. How about Mr. Wright? What would this to commit perjury in the court today? Your Honor. On this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? And what occasion is that? Accuses Acro? What the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, you accused him of murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trip to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab the audience's heart and mind. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. He's staying rather calm and collected. Do you have any response to the defense's occasion? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a silver common sense that makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right, way to pick on the disabled, you heartless cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think it's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand on his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of Mr. Accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blubbering about, Mr. Wright? He's so confused. There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Order! Order! What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do it? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, let's do it. Mr. Phoenix, right? This witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was he? In his room? He's in his room. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room? Pretty simple, huh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one threat after. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What are you? What say you, Mr. Acro? That's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that's what you proposed as a possible, yes, that's it. That's it. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As you stated, is in a wheelchair. There's no way he could go to the scene nor be the killer. You got a point. Seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoneix, right? The defendant is clearly spotted a scene of crime. That's true. But what if it wasn't really him? Mills said that he saw a mask, didn't he? If that was really mask, then where's his lead? That's the thing, where's his lead? But Maya is still impossible for a human to fly. Mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously can't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal bluff. Careful, Nick, if you mess up here. He's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this some serious thought. Sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. He did it while he was in the room, no doubt about it. Time to mind us how he committed the crime. Evidence. Gonna present some evidence. So what did he use to commit the crime of murder against him? The Mastery bust. Was that a picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust because it's life-size and it's very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Glasses Acro's bust. Yep, that can be a possibility there. Order! So you're saying the bust fell on the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Well, an acro is an acrobat. You should have more than upper body strength to carry something like the bust. That's true. You could actually simply carry it. How do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's lost for words. He should be. He knows I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro, you can't. Ah! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoneix, right? What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Karma. She's just using this testimony as a route to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for testimony. The defense has a version of the murder. The prosecution had the right to respond. Defense objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? I'm sorry, but we needed to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubt about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. Witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful toward them. Thank you. That woman's will stink to laying you low to win the case. Suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. It makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? Really? I have no doubts in regard to this witness's testimony. It's possible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out the window far enough to look. Not to mention, he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Miss Wright? I still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her good to me. I'd let the focus. I suppose I could have, let's see, 5 or 6. Or the wooden box.
Objection!
Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? Where are you driving at, Mr. Wright? It's like, I'm confused. You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. You're silly hinting that things are pointless, Mr. phoneix, right? Enough stalling, how about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. So it was pretty much placed there. It was already there. I have to admit, your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the moment the ringmaster had lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean, if the bus were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could lift the head of the victim. So it's kind of like a planted thing. They planted it there. Order! This is unbelievable! Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that one box at the scene? It was Mr. Acro, of course. He connected it to a rope, and all he had to do was lower it down. Ah! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. phoneix, right? Ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anyone when he lifted the box. That's why the box was specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most particular feature. Its weight. The weight of box has a remarkable weight. According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say? Exactly what I was trying to point out. The box was also very large. Box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That's correct. To lift the box, you have to squat down. Kind of like what you would do with water. When you're like shopping at the store, you have to like use your legs and squat down to like lift it up easier. No matter who you are, your head would be in possibly the same place. Fool. Phoenix, you fool. Does he bother to listen to me anymore? I heard what you had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked they're matching of skills. Did you do it? Did you place the wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Matt's bust? Of course I remember. It was top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I like to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly have leave the lodging house by myself. That mean? You understand what I mean, do you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room, but however, how would I have sent the bus from the cafeteria to my room? That's a good point. That's a very good point. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness was carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? Money the monkey? A monkey? Everyone knows Money. He lives shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring? So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal a bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. My, those are very nice cards he's holding. And very shiny. They're shiny. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro. Money is a strong monkey, isn't he? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. So you would be like kicking out Money and then like having a new roommate? Order, I said order. Miss Von Karma. We're at the bust in question at this moment. I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. Well, let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else will have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Didn't you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron. Mr. Wright's argument was so circular I'm still dizzy. However, his argument did not hold water, there's no denying that. Ow! Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoneix, right? And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. It's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Next, let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were 2 people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Mr. Whistleberry. The other one was the murderer himself. Answer this, and only this, Mr. Phoneix, right? Who was the murderer the clown saw? Let's see. I have to take a look at this one more. Take that! He saw Matt's. I asked who was the other person most saw at the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question. Objection! On contrary, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Matt's silhouette, but he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. Yeah, it was something that looked exactly like him. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo saw actually was that night was Matt's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. What if it snagged on the cloak that Whistleberry was wearing? So no reason why you can't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards on the bust hand. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on the bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Now just wait a minute, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? The question is the most important in this case, don't you agree? He caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? Take that! Fool. Him? Are you saying it was the victim himself, Whistleberry? That's what I'm saying. I mean, the victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself! Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm putting all the pieces together. There's really one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At that same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene of first. At the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over and lifted the wooden box. That's when Acro took his hands and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant the bust hit the victim, it attached itself to him. To the bust. You just wait a second there, Mr. Phoneix, right? As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this isn't true. Can't be. It is still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Drama. That's true. The circus isn't over yet. What? It's kind of like that meme where it shows like, where it has a jerk saying, "You're not the clown, your entire circus." Then patted the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. Then Pat also caught the sound of a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curl, the clown. And Mo looked out his window, the cloak already snapped onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out his window, so he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murder disappeared in the sky came to be. Everyone's so shocked. See, the only person who could pull this off is the person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above. Acro, it could have only been you. How is he so calm during this? Like, how? Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has to come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence. In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my wit. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. But the right the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can be only one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. Time to do this. That's enough talking about yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence that backs up your claims. I want hard proof that you unravel the truth of this magic case. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses? Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in most testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explained all the contradictions. True. You fool. Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal you saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bus. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he just did see the silk hat most sort of. Fine, you got one? But what about the other contradiction? The other one? Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said there was no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bus. If the cloak snagged onto the bus, what happened to the white roses? It was hidden. Do you get yet? If the cloak was snagged onto the front of the bus, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bus. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible, but they were on the back side of the bus. Yeah, that's true. It was on the other side of it. Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down the road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. Maybe Von Trammell will finally throw the towel. She's all smiling. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible depth of gratitude toward the ringmaster. Anyone with a relation to the circus is well aware of this. It's true. That's so true. Thus, there's absolutely no way to make someone like this would kill the ringmaster. She does have a point here. She does have a point. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do you do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of his testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. So I'm guessing we will be continuing this some other time of this one. We'll be finishing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button below and subscribe for more videos to come. See you guys later. Bye, guys.